My mom always compared me to my sister until I cut them both off. There was always a shadow over my life, a shadow shaped like my older sister, Lily. Her flawless grades, her sparkling smile, the way everyone seemed to gravitate toward her. It was all so perfect. And then there was me, the girl who could never quite measure up. I remember it starting when I was a little girl. My mom would take us to the park, and while Lily would be swinging high into the sky, making friends, laughing, I'd be sitting in the dirt, pushing rocks around, always feeling invisible. "Why can't you be more like Lily?" Mom would ask, not out of malice, but out of frustration, as if she were asking me to be something I wasn't. Every time I failed to meet her expectations, the comparison would come again. "Lily does this," or "Lily is so responsible," or "Why can't you just be more like your sister?" It stung. At first, I didn't fully understand it. I was young, and my world was centered around my mom's approval. But as I got older, something shifted. The comparisons didn't stop, and neither did my growing resentment. Lily was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. She excelled in everything. If there was a competition, she won. If there was a challenge, she conquered it. And there I was, always in her shadow, feeling like I was constantly failing in comparison. By the time I hit high school, I had already become accustomed to hearing, "Why can't you be more like Lily?" It was as if my achievements were never enough, no matter how hard I tried. I didn't have her charm, I didn't have her grace, and I sure as hell didn't have her ability to make friends effortlessly. I remember one particularly painful moment in my sophomore year. It was parent-teacher night. Lily's teachers raved about her, of course. She was in the top of her class, always on time, always engaged. But when it was my turn, I heard something completely different. "Your daughter has potential, but she's distracted. She could do better if she tried harder." I saw my mom's face as she nodded, her expression tight. "I know she can do better," she said, a little too sharply. She didn't even look at me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell her that I was trying, that I had my own battles I was facing. But all that came out was a quiet, "I'll do better." The years rolled on. Lily went to college on a full scholarship. My mom beamed with pride, and everyone told me I had big shoes to fill. I tried to be excited for her. I really did, but I couldn't help but feel like I was drowning under the weight of their expectations. By the time I graduated from high school, I was exhausted. Exhausted by constantly feeling like I didn't measure up. Exhausted by trying to prove myself, and exhausted by my mom's endless comparisons. But I still tried to make her proud. I chose a college that was close to home, thinking it would be easier. I thought if I stayed close enough, maybe my mom would see me for who I was, not who she wished I could be. But I was wrong. In college, my life took a different turn. I started hanging out with a new crowd, people who didn't care about my grades or my achievements. They cared about me. For the first time, I felt free, free from the expectations, free from the constant comparison. But when I came home on breaks, everything changed. I'd hear about Lily's accomplishments, her new friends, her perfect life. I'd hear the subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, comparisons. My mom never meant to hurt me, but her words had this sharpness to them, like a knife twisting in my side. One evening, it all came to a head. I was sitting at the dinner table, trying to keep the peace when my mom casually mentioned how perfect Lily's life was turning out. "She's got everything figured out," my mom said, her eyes sparkling with pride. "She's going to do amazing things." I couldn't hold it in any longer. I stood up from the table, the chair scraping loudly against the floor. "Why do you keep comparing me to her?" I snapped, my voice shaking. "Why is it always Lily this, Lily that? What about me? What about my life? Why can't you see me for who I am instead of just her shadow?" My mom was taken aback. Her face softened, and she opened her mouth to speak, but I wasn't done. "You've done it my whole life, Mom. I'm never good enough. No matter what I do, it's never enough for you. I'm just not her." Tears welled up in my eyes. I didn't want to cry in front of them, but I couldn't help it. "I'm not asking you to love me more than her. I just want to be seen. For once. Just me." The room fell silent. I could hear the distant hum of the refrigerator, but otherwise, everything was still. My mom didn't say anything, but Lily did. "Maybe you should just let it go," she said, her voice soft but distant, as if she wasn't really talking to me, but to herself. That was the moment, the tipping point. I made the decision that night to walk away. I stopped answering my mom's calls. I stopped visiting home during breaks. I distanced myself from Lily too. I needed space from them, from the comparisons, from the constant pressure that I could never measure up. It was hard at first. Guilt gnawed at me, especially when I saw how my mom struggled with the silence. She would send me texts asking if I was okay, if I was coming home for the holidays. Sometimes I'd answer. Sometimes I wouldn't. But slowly, I began to heal. I realized that I didn't need their approval to define my worth. I was enough on my own. Months passed, and one day, my mom called. This time, I answered. "Are you okay?" she asked, her voice shaky. "I'm fine," I said, trying to sound calm, though I still felt the weight of it all. "I'm sorry," she said. "I didn't realize what I was doing. Comparing you to Lily, I see now that I hurt you, and I'm sorry for that." I didn't know what to say. For so long, I had yearned for that apology, but now that it was here, I didn't know if it was enough. "I needed space, Mom," I said softly. "I needed to be myself. I'm not Lily. I'm me, and I need you to accept that." And for the first time, I heard something different in her voice, something like understanding. "I do accept that. I just didn't know how to see it until now." I didn't fully let her back in right away. Trust takes time, and the wounds ran deep, but that conversation was a start. I don't know if I'll ever have the kind of relationship with my mom that I thought I wanted, and maybe I'm still figuring out how to let go of the past. But I do know one thing. I'm finally free. I stopped trying to be her. I stopped trying to be Lily. I stopped trying to be someone I wasn't. And for the first time in my life, I'm beginning to like who I am. But here's the thing. Am I wrong for cutting them off? Did I overreact? Should I have found a way to make peace with the comparisons instead of walking away? How would you have handled it? Let me know what you think in the comments.